young slave boy stood one day before the greatest ruler of his day.
Okay, we are live now, ladies and gentlemen. We're coming to you from Las Vegas, Nevada. Okay, we have Sister Cat, who's gonna bring a story up, that from what I understand, that's unfolded. Okay, Sister, you have the floor, man.
Manna from heaven and bring his people to freedom land. What's in your hand? What's in your hand? George Washington Carver, who was so frail that he was traded for a broken-down horse as a slave boy. And George Washington Carver, sitting in the science laboratory at Tuskegee, told me, he said, Dr. Powell, he said, I just go out in the fields each morning at 5 o'clock, and I let God guide me. And I bring back these little things and work them over my laboratory, and that man did more to revolutionize the agricultural science of peanuts and of cotton and sweet potato than any other human being in the field of agricultural science. What's in your hand? Just let God use you, that's all. What's in your hand? I've got a string in my hand, that's all, and I'm flying a kite. And way up in the heavens, lightning strikes it. And I, Benjamin Franklin, discovered for the first time the possibilities of electricity with a string in my hand. What's in your hand? Little hunchback sitting in a Roman jail? I haven't got anything in my hand but an old quill pen, but God says, write what I tell you to write. Paul wrote, I have run my race with patience. I have finished my course. I've kept the faith. Henceforth has laid up to me. What's in your hand, little boy? All I've got is a slingshot. And the enemies of my people are great and big and more numerous than we are. Well, will David go down to the brook and pick out a few stones and come on back and close your eyes if you want to and pull back that slingshot and let it go? And David killed the biggest enemy, the leader of the giants, against his people, and his people became free, just letting God guide a stone in his hand. And a few years passed, and David is a king. And God says, what's in your hand? He said, I've got a harp in my hand. He said, well, David, play on your harp. And he played, the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. Maketh me to lie down in green pastures. Leadeth me beside still waters. Yea, though I walk through the valley in the shadow of death, I'll fear no evil. What's in your hand? What's in your hand? Man hanging on a cross. I've got 2 nails in my hand. Father, I stretch my hands to thee. No other help I know. If thou withdraws thyself from me, whither shall I go? And that man, with 2 nails in his hand, split history in half, BC and AD. And what's in your hand tonight, people of Cambridge? You've got God in your hand, and he'll let you win, because he's on your side and one with God. Always in the majority, so walk with him, and talk with him, and work with him, and stick together, and fight together. And with God's hand in your hand, the victory will be accomplished here sooner than you dreamed, sooner than you hoped, sooner than you prayed for, sooner than you imagined. Good night, and God bless you.
Are you trying to say I'm begging?
Okay, greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This is Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced. We're doing a special edition here, August 1st, 2025. Okay, all righty. Okay, Sister Cat. Okay, so please come on with what you're saying in regard to this special edition of what's happening in Alabama.
Well, I'm just saying all together, I don't think anytime I'm sitting up here telling a speech or maybe speaking to brothers and sisters or whatever they want to call it, day in, day out, kumbaya, yada, 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 yada. I'm not begging anybody to do anything for me. And I think it's time enough that brothers and sisters quit all this begging, quit all this crying. What you preaching about when you ain't doing nothing in between time? Where the money at? I I want to know where the money at. When it comes to all of these organizations is out here, where is the money at? Where are the schools? Where are our housing? And then you want me to sit around here and turn around and I'm supposed to have sympathy from R. Kelly. I'm supposed to have sympathy for P. Diddy. I'm supposed to have sympathy for anybody else. Them troglodytes, they work together. Whatever they find in Epstein files, I really don't even care. But these jerks turn around and annihilate us as a being altogether, mess with our children. Look at the child. And that got killed in Alabama.
What happened in Alabama?
Oh my God. I wish I could pull the article up here. Rebecca, is there any way you can actually put the article in there? All you guys have to do, and
I don't have access to the article.
July 30th.
Okay, sister. I don't have access to the article. Please share the data that you have.
All right. I don't even know how to do that.
Okay, we got Brother Pastor in the building.
Yes, greetings, Shabaka. I wasn't aware we was doing an impromptu show, but okay.
Yeah, because Sister Cat had just came across this information in the last 30 minutes.
Yeah, talking about, and it was a state worker that had him in the car. He was in the car for 5 hours in the heat. Can you imagine what he was going through? He was fighting for himself.
Right.
They tortured him. They killed him. And this is Alabama. And this is the third thing that we have heard from Alabama, as well as the truck driver getting killed in Alabama, Angie Stone getting killed in Alabama, and now they sitting around there and also killing babies in the cars. I think it's how we go down to Alabama.
Was a state employee. Okay, so what you're saying, sister, is that this child was left in his car by a state social worker, correct? The child died. Okay, that is special circumstances in some states. But down there in the great state of Alabama, where my ancestors shedded their blood, you had old Frogface down there who was the governor of Alabama. Segregation yesterday, segregation today, and segregation tomorrow. Now, what do these George Wallace sympathizers and these Alabamians got to say about this? You say, I'll be very, very curious to know. So please continue, sister. You're the guest host of this show. You called this episode, so come on with it.
The only thing is this, like, it's very hurtful. It's very hurtful. I think it was actually done intentionally. And the thing that really bothers me is that, we need to reach out to his father, because that's where he was supposed to be going. He was supposed to be going with his father. And so not only with the incident, I'm talking about when it comes to the incident, because brothers and sisters, you lay down, you have sex, somebody gets pregnant. I mean, goddamn, that's life. You know what I'm saying? That's life. So why take it from the point of it not being life, right? To the point that you are so frustrated with each other that you have to look outside of yourselves in order to fix your family. Because all of that is your family. And it is.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
All
because
right.
It even becomes the family within having the intercourse all together, and now you are creating life. And this is how they treat each other. So the point is, everybody is to blame. But look at the mark. The dick goes again, right? But this was done, and not even with the parents. We ain't gonna go into that. I'm just talking about alone that these jokers is telling you, when you call for us for help, we're gonna kill you anyway. And that's that. Our help comes from our own, and that's that. And we have to turn around and stop all this bullshit and actually create resources for our Black families. And that's the bottom line I get.
Okay. All right. You are right. There should be some type of accountability for this. This should be investigated. Okay. I do not know what the laws are in the great state of Alabama. Is because, as you know, that there's where old Governor Wallace, gave out that infamous line, segregation yesterday, segregation today, and segregation tomorrow. Okay. So once again, is that they placing no emphasis on Black lives. You see what I mean? And then on top of it as well, too, now, where's all these state legislatures at? And on something like this here, this child coming up dead, they should be having an emergency of the Alabama state legislature. You see what I mean? And whatnot dealing with it. Now,
you breaking up.
How should I? Okay, wait a minute. Okay, because that will shut off this air conditioner.
I mean, you sound distant.
Okay, all right, because I'm walking around. Please continue.
Oh, you getting intense. Shabaka is walking around. He's getting intense. Yeah, you can feel the heat, can't you?
Okay,
and that's the same thing they would do with you.
Okay.
That's the same thing as them opening up these areas and these prisons, even in Florida, as well as over here in California with Alcatraz. The same old thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, we got comments here on a live chat that states someone, well, I'm not going to say no names. Okay. All right. Hey, Mac 285, we see you in there, Mac. Thank you for joining us. All right. Someone is saying they dropped the receipts to willful illegal display. His parents was going to kill it first. Cursed birth, like his parents was doing. Parents failed the child, and accountability needs to hit parents and the state. Parents were doing their job and fall. State worker needs to be jailed, or because they got some crap over here with this advertisement blocking it. Okay, and this is Joe Blackson, and the custodial parent.
This is the thing right here. I don't want to hear it anymore. I don't even care. I don't even want to hear it anymore because this is the thing right here. You're not even gonna go back to tell me nothing about parents, because what about your job, right? What about your job? What about your morals? What about your decency? Whatever. What about that? You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't want to even hear nothing about the parents or whatever. Why is the child within your custody? And then on top of that, you took a fucking oath. You took an oath. You took an oath because you already know when you have a job. Huh? I can't even hear you, Shabaka. What did you say?
No, but you're right.
Yeah, when you take a job and you work for the state or whatever, you take an oath. So you violated the oath. She committed treason as well. Right. You already sit around here and talk about how the black man and the black woman commit treason. They committed treason right there. You see the treason? I hope everybody sees the treason. Are you still there? What happened to Shabbat?
I'm here.
I don't see you on the thing.
No, no, doing this trying to get-
They committed treason because they took an oath. And with that oath, I'm sure, that you have to go through some type of constitution because you are a member of an organization, and you signed up for the job. And the bottom line is, we can pussyfoot around however you want to. She needs to go to jail without $200 pass go for the rest of her God-given life. Because his life, right? And it stops right there. And if these corporations, these organizations, why do you even exist if you're really not doing what you're actually supposed to be doing for the community? And you already know they're not. They don't give a damn about our children. Tell me when they have. We turn around, we have to take care of our children. We have to turn around and do we have to do for our children. But we don't get any recognition for that. We don't get any rewards for how our children were not your sole purpose of having your institutions all together with your jail system.
Mm-hmm.
See, they created the percentage, not us. They created that. And even when they didn't have the percentage, they came looking for the percentage. All right, let's talk about that too. How we have always been the target for them, right? And we're gonna let this just pass us by? Oh hell no! And I yell.
Okay. All righty. Okay. And got man there, we are streaming this here on Frontline Black News live. We also are on YouTube. Okay, but Pat's got to come back on. Okay, and so we got our man Black Lightning. Okay, on your mic, Black Lightning.
I'm just listening in. I'm just listening in, and you got bad connection.
All right. Again. Okay. Man,
you gotta do something about that audio. Yeah, try that audio. It's doing what it did last time.
Okay. So which was the Bluetooth? Okay, now I gotta find
all right, now you sound much better, Shabaka. And you do.
Okay,
let's talk about
like
how
you saying
we're gonna
sounding
figure
bad.
out.
You said
no, you sound much better now. But anyway, since lightning is going in.
Okay.
All right. I apologize.
Okay. But the fact of the matter is, though, is that somebody's saying here on the live that the parents are to be to blame, okay, in the long run, without having to deal with the state in the first place, and I have to agree with that. See
That's a damn lie. Parents are not to blame. No, look, the parents. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you how we are all to blame. We are all to blame because as history goes down, as life goes on, we're not doing the proper guidance or teaching. We're not listening to the elders. We're not having our own communities. We're not doing, we're not at, have our own hospitals. We still going through all these battles or whatever. So when you turn around, right? It goes back to humanity altogether. When it comes down to our children, right? And we have to turn around. Nobody gave anybody a handbook because you turned around and killed off the elders anyway. And then when you have the elders around, that's a disrespect altogether. But then on top of that, they got to take on your battle as well as you take on the battle of yourself. So no. What goes on, it still goes back to the corporation altogether. Because if you wouldn't have took the father out of the household, if you wouldn't turn around and be pushing all this homosexual stuff all around, if you wasn't trying to turn around and change the black man and say the black man should be against the black woman and the black woman should be against the black man, if you went and created all that motherfucking bullshit in the school system, sitting over there destroying
Okay, sister, you gotta quit cussing.
All right, stop cursing. But this is the thing right here.
Okay.
If all that stuff did not occur, our brothers and sisters would not have to go outside of themselves or amongst brothers and sisters just to get some help. And I think that's how it began. Because they needed some help and they didn't have anybody help them. So another organization had to get involved. And of course, those organizations don't care anything about us.
We've been on that ever since they're out here. You mean what it is, quote you. Okay. When are we going to take our sales? You see what I'm saying? Okay. Now, brother is saying here 20 million black babies aborted since the 1970s. Women chose the government over the man. It's documented. Okay. All right. Brother also said that he burned Obama.
See, that's that bullshit right there. You're gonna turn around, and that's how them cool niggas do not give a shit about them. Well, all right, yes, no cursing. I apologize. Ooh, it comes out sometimes. So look, tell him. Now, whoever said that, that's a coon statement, brother. And if you want to go into the statement that he made, I will show you how coon it is. Coon, nigga.
Okay, but basically what this man saying right here that I have to agree with, there's got to be some type of accountability as opposed to letting the state or the feds raise our children. The only thing that they're doing is giving them early death of what we're talking about, right? They're putting them in these public indoctrination centers. You see what I'm saying?
No, hold up. As far as you breaking up again, Shabaka, a zero accountability. I never once said that it was zero accountability. There's accountability all the way across the board. But the accountability should be the accountability that we have amongst ourselves, not with them. See, we're supposed to handle our own problems within our own, not with everybody else. That's when you really get the serious problem that we have to turn around and fight to get rid of that. That's what causes certain types of getting incarcerated. You see what I'm saying? Because you chose that. And everything we do, you have to realize there's a crossroads and everything you have to do. And everyone said that we never played a role in certain things that happens in our communities all together. And we have. Come on, man. We have. We played that role before. And we have. Right? You turn around and even with that, Even if we make a few dollars, you still turn around and give it back to the oppressor all over again. So if you want to talk about accountability, the accountability should be the accountability from everyone. Because no one lives in a glass house. They can't get it broken down because you have them skeletons in your college, in your closet. So before you can judge somebody about their accountability, let's see what's going on within your accountability. And I get.
Okay. The point is, what I'm saying is, there's an ancient African proverb: it takes a whole village to raise a child, right? Okay. Which holds true to this day. But what's happening is that this system, all right, from these Democrats have shattered the Black community. You see what I'm saying?
Oh my God! Please don't put this political talking about because the Democrats did it. The Republicans know better. That is just
I never said
retardation.
And we're doing this podcast here on the Fair Use Act of 1976. And if Lightning is with us in the studio, I'm going to ask him to put it up there. Okay. So what it is that with there being no accountability within the Black community, okay, then that's trying to force their agenda on the Black community. And we'll start with these Black doing all this let's make a deal stuff. I mean, you see what I mean?
Call anybody a coon up in there. I'm talking about the ones that choose not. He was talking about a statement that somebody said, and I responded to whoever put it in, whatever statement they put in there. That's what I was responding to. And you trying to correct me in some kind of way.
No, but I'm sure the accountability has nothing to do with you.
Well, it doesn't even matter. No, he said it right there. And then Shabaka asked about it, and I said it, whatever.
What's the details on the kids that got killed? Because y'all skipping over that and going right to something else.
It wasn't the kids. And first of all, our children are not kids. That's a goddamn billy goat.
What's the details?
Sister, quit cussing. Come on now. Shit.
What's the details, regardless of what you want to call it?
Okay, what the details of it is that a state worker had left his child in a car in Alabama, and that the child died. Okay, is probably due to heat stroke or a heat exposure. Okay, now I'm gonna let Sister Arquette talk because she brought the story to light. Okay, Sister, unmute your microphone and please continue. I'm muting my microphone, and please, no cussing. We can't have that.
All right. So July 30th, the child was 3 years old in Alabama, and he was supposed to be going to his father, right? And he was with a state worker. The state worker left him in the car in the heat, no air conditioning, no nothing, and he died. She kept him in there 5 hours. How did they know the time altogether? This was a purpose murder that happened to him. And the thing that I want everybody to look at, can you imagine what he was going through? For you to take the last gasp of your air, something that you will never have again, right? How was this correct? I want that state worker prosecuted in jail with no bail, right? And then on top of that, I want Alabama, if she is a mother, to take her children and put them in CPS protective custody, because obviously she can't take care of another child. You know what I mean? And what do we do about that? You know, they turn around, even in Alabama, the truck driver gets killed. You know, as far as I understand, he was actually trying to get, something to eat. Angie Stone was down there at a concert, right? And everybody wants to talk about taking over somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And the brother that's down there with the justice system to turn around and put everything together, how come he's not speaking up or saying anything about this? He's right there in Montgomery, Alabama. Why isn't he saying anything? This happened in your state, man. And you're supposed to be the big dude on the totem pole when it comes to justice and everything else for black people. Why is he not opening his mouth? I haven't heard nothing from him to say nothing about Alabama right now. It just happened. They should have been all over this. And then what? Them judges are already letting you know. They turned around and bought land and saying that black people can't be there. Did you get that news article? Oh my God. So, all right. So this is the thing. Of course you would say that the custodial parent because they're black. I don't know who Joe Black's son is, but that's a cracker, man. They ain't got nothing to do with us as far as us being melanated. Anyway, I'm not going to entertain these crackers, man.
What he's saying is that the custodial parent needs to be arrested, but brother, what it was a state worker that had custody of this baby. So it's the state worker that needs to be, held accountable for it. You see what I mean? That's what needs to be held accountable. They say the state worker needs to be held accountable. They say whatnot. So that's what I want to say on that one right there. They say. So anything that you want to say, sister?
Yeah, so you're breaking up again, but yeah, if there's any way that you could actually put up there, and we can, I'm sure, and they probably have it on YouTube right now, talking about that situation, so we can get some information, because I don't know how to put all that up there. I don't know if Lightning knows how to. I'm sure somebody put it somewhere, talking about the 3-year-old that was in the car under state custody.
That's what we're talking about now, sister. Okay, that's what we're talking about now. So at that point right there, it's not on the parent, it be on the state worker. You say what I mean?
That's what I said. I already said that already. I don't want to hear nothing about somebody
Okay,
talking
all right, okay, all right. On that day, you are right. You say you are right about that. Tragedy is that his little innocent child dies, due to bad parenting, state management. You see what I mean?
No,
the lack of cohesiveness in the black community.
The problem is this. I'm gonna tell you what the problem is. The problem is this. The problem is that how we turned around and we have allowed ourselves to become victims again of the oppressor. Without them jokers putting you in handcuffs or dragging you by your feet or anywhere else, right? Or putting that noose around your neck to say, hey, You belong to me on this plantation. We do the same thing right now. And you do. And that's how it broke down. Where is our areas at? And even when we had our areas, you still should have turned around and rebuild, maintain, or do whatever. No. Jokers want to sit around here and argue about the stupidest thing. Oh, a man needs to be in charge of the house. Oh, a woman should do this. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, yada, 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 yada. And get you where? Get you nowhere. The same thing it gets you the whole time all together, still on the plantation. You go to the hospitals because we have allowed them to tear down our hospitals. Even in Norfolk, Virginia, right where Norfolk State stands. That was a black-owned hospital that was destroyed. See, these are the things why I want to create the Black Renaissance again. So that will show you that we did without getting on our hands and knees begging for someone to help us. We did it on our own, right? And the reason why we having all this conflict that goes on is because we have forgotten. I think it comes to a point in life, it's time to be awakened. And you can take whatever that with a grain of salt. And until we awaken as a people, we have nothing. And I'm talking about right here in the Americas. Right? Because if you can't handle what's going on under your feet, you can't handle nothing that's going on abroad. And I get.
Okay. All right. So therefore, with this baby being in custody of the state, okay, it is the state's fault, in my opinion. You see what I'm saying? Because either they did not do a proper background check on this individual, or this person was probably loaded, or the one who assigned her to the case was probably loaded. But something is very, very wrong here. And we're getting comments right here. One comment we have, you're right, the state worker should be held accountable. Okay, another comment from the same person says, don't blame the Democrats. Okay, the same person comments, we don't have our village to help raise our children. Okay, this is a shame.
Why does it always have to go back to the political thing again? The Democrats and Republicans. I just want to just put this out there. I just want to tell brothers and sisters, when it comes to me, when it comes to that, I believe all of these politicians need to be flushed down a toilet. Okay, we need a whole new.
Well, you get no argument from me on that. If you ask me, the majority of them belong to go right straight to freaking jail. They say because they're not representing the people. The only thing these tricks is doing is lining their pockets, period. And the sad part about it is that this poor baby had to die because of greed. You see what I'm saying? Because of greed. This is why we got to have the Black family unit put back together. This is why you need the father in the home. And then as far as that affirmative action crap is concerned, the main beneficiary of affirmative action was white women. You see what I'm saying? The black male is despised. Everybody hates the black male. His own mama hates him. His family hates him. Society hates him. The police hate him. He hates himself. Say, that's what it boils down into, that, sister. You know, and the ancestors been telling us here for the last 60 friggin' years that I know of. But what do these fools want to go out there and do? But
this is the thing.
I love you, bow. You see,
this is the thing.
That's garbage.
Even then, it comes still back to the accountability. The accountability to the point that, yeah, you know what I'm saying? We have made mistakes in the trenches, and we have. You know, because, you know, status has changed or whatever. you know, and we have had that love for our children. I'm not talking about, you know, every situation. I'm just saying some of the mistakes that we have created as parents, even as aunts. Now, just because someone didn't
And we
have
got Joe in
baby,
here as
they
well, too.
know
Unmute your mic,
they
Joe. Go
work
ahead,
too.
sister. I'm just letting you know Joe is in here.
All right, okay, Black Joe. Hey,
All
Black
power
Joe.
to the people.
All
What's
power to
happening?
the people. Look,
All
look,
to
look.
the tribe.
Oh my God.
Always.
We're not gonna go into none other stuff. We're just talking about the baby.
I'll be your coon though. You hear
Oh,
me?
what?
I say I'll be your coon though. You hear me?
You be my what?
I'll be your coon when you call me a coon in the chats.
You'll be my coon.
If you want me to be a coon, I'll be your coon.
Oh, please. I don't
Wait a
know
minute,
how,
sister. You
that
call the
all.
man a coon in the chat?
No, I haven't even
No, no,
typed
no,
in
no,
the
no, no,
chat.
no, no,
When
no.
you was reading the chats about 10 minutes ago, you didn't like what I said in the chats, and you like they gotta be Joe Blackson gotta be a white person. They gotta be a coon or a white person.
Oh, what? Oh, that was you? Really? Yeah, I didn't like
We,
that statement. I didn't like that
of
statement.
I
course you
mean, this
don't.
No, it
man is
wasn't
sister.
you. I didn't know it
Sister,
was you.
this man
But I
is
didn't
a
like that
But
statement.
coon.
maybe to have a little clarification, then you'll understand. Because
I mean, I can
No,
understand
otherwise,
her
you
you're
didn't
not.
give
jumping
a
the
I can,
gun.
reason. I
I
still didn't like
I
the
can understand
statement.
her not knowing it's me.
No,
You know,
I
with my name
still didn't
being
like
Joe
the
Black and Joe
statement.
Blackson. You know,
Yeah,
Lightning.
right.
Oh,
with a
No,
similar
no,
Desiree,
picture.
Lightning.
You
Desiree,
know,
No,
Desiree,
okay. Can we
Desiree,
do a
Desiree.
recap
You
on the
said make a.
statement? Wait a minute. Can we do a recap on the statement, please? Can we put a recap up? Can we go back to
Desiree, okay, I'm gonna unmute your mic, okay? We're not out here trying to insult nobody. You brought up a very, very good point, and there are people that are concerned. But all this name calling and all this old type of stuff has got to stop, you see? Because, you know, this stuff is going out here on public airwaves, and people all over around the world are saying, look at these stupid ass niggas. You know what I'm saying? They can't even have a decent conversation amongst themselves about a situation dealing with themselves. Now, I yield.
all right,
I'm
first of
going on
all,
mute.
I'm not a nigga. All right, so that's the name
look,
right there. You don't want to
my
be
only
called
point,
whatever. Don't call me a nigga.
my only
I'm
point in the
not.
chat was the state would have never came in if the parents was
Sister,
doing their
I did not
job.
call you that.
You just called me a nigga. You said they gonna turn around and say
No, sister,
us
I
as
didn't.
niggas.
What I'm saying is that what I'm
Collectively,
saying is this. Okay, is that this stuff goes out on public airwaves. We got OTBs looking at this who hates us. We got coons out here that hates us. And when we sit up here and go back and forth, and I really hate to say, we proving a point. And them is these, and those clowns are the last ones who points that I want to prove. So that's all that I'm saying, sister. You call for the special meeting. We put it up here for you. You see what I'm saying? People is kind enough to come on in, and if we disagree, let us disagree agreeably. You see what I'm saying? Because you got all these dumpsters and trumpsters out here, you know, up here laughing at us, throwing monkey wrenches in the works, killing the stream, and all this old type of stuff. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah, and you are absolutely right. So, that's why I would like to meet brothers and sisters in person, so I can actually look at you, look in your eyes, and just watch your movement. And I hopefully, with all of this confusion, that maybe one day we will actually meet in person. All right, so let's go back to the child because he's right. We shouldn't be arguing back and forth. I just want to meet you in full figure right in front of me. And the same thing that's being said here, we can say it other ways. So the 3-year-old that was, hey, Lightning, the 3-year-old that was in the car in Alabama with the state worker died. She had him in the car for 5 hours. who does that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you can
That
imagine
there.
what he was going through, because that wasn't even a fast death. That was a slow death. A slow death.
Right.
A slow death.
Right.
A slow death. Think about it. They tortured him. He was tortured. And I believe they did it purposely. Who does that?
Okay. Okay. Now,
That's
what
all
facts do you have to prove that it was done purposely? Because there's definitely a case of neglect. Okay. That's a definite. You see what I'm saying? A case of
Can I say something?
Yes, sir. Most definitely.
My only point, I keep on saying, yes, the state worker needs to be put in jail. There were circumstances that led up to the state having to come in and physically remove their child. So therefore, the custodial parent
Right.
also needs to be held accountable.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Wait a
Meaning the
minute, but the
person, meaning the
custodial
parent.
parent should have been held accountable before the state had to get in there.
And it's not too late to hold the custodial parent accountable for the abuse or neglect that went on that made the state come in, and then the state needs to be held accountable for the death.
But that's the thing right here. That's another reason why we're supposed to be in our communities. We're supposed to be around. It's like today.
There's no community because it was requested. That was requested of black men to look.
Well, I'm just saying, just like today. I was on the bus earlier today, and there was a brother and sister on there. And you already know there was, doing that stuff or whatever. But the thing is when I wasn't even paying attention, but they showed me that the sister was pregnant. I said, oh man, she got a baby in her stomach. Really? And I gave her my number. I have her number right here. We have to turn around. And the only way that anything is going to change when it comes to our children, when it comes to our communities, when it comes to our relationships, we have to change it, brothers and sisters. And there's no way of getting around that. We are all accountable, especially whatever age you are. That's how long you've been accountable for. Because why isn't this stuff fixed yet? That's what I want to say, and we all need to take
Two
accountability.
reasons why it isn't fixed yet. Okay. The reason why it isn't fixed yet, one is that you got these sellout ass politicians in the black community, number one. And great news is that Kamala Harris has announced that she will not be running for governor of California. Okay. Now, Joe says here in the chat, continue and stay out of black women's business like they've been requesting since the 1980s. Okay. The 1980s. Okay. So we know what happened in the 1980s, okay? The Reagan presidency was in there. They allowed all these narcotics to come into the black community, okay? Our people was consuming it. So, of course, this was interfering with the babies being born, or the so-called, or what they would say, the crack babies. Okay, now, the babies who were born in the 80s, 1980 was 45 years ago. So now they're grown and they're having babies. Yeah, see, now how do you know this stuff ain't going down from generation to after generation to after generation?
It doesn't even matter. Honestly, I don't even care. It doesn't even matter. The point
doesn't matter. Don't care. Come on, sis. Come on. What do you mean?
Wait a minute. Because we're not going to sit up here and make up excuses on why the child was killed in a guy. Because of all this stuff, that really gives anybody a right to take someone's life? Does it? You know what I mean? With all of everything that's going on, does that really give anybody a right to take his life at 3 years old? Right?
Okay. Yeah. As brother is saying here, in the chat room right here that I agree with Black Joe on this one. The counterintelligence program was less stressful killing black men. They were brainwashing black women with the feminist movement. And he is right.
I don't even know why I come on here with you guys because I already know it's gonna turn into
sister.
a gender
that
war.
Feminist movement. I did more to split up the black family unit than bringing it together. Loud don't mean right.
Loud don't mean right. All right, maybe I do sound. Maybe I turn my mic down a little bit because maybe I do sound low.
No, sister, you don't need to turn down your mic. You just quit yelling and screaming. All this is unnecessary. You see?
Oh, please. You're not going to sit over here and tell me how to speak. I know you not, Shabaka. Do I tell you how to speak? I'll tell you one thing. Your ass turns around and screams and yells, especially when somebody's doing something against black people in Los Angeles. You go crazy. So don't even trip on me.
Sister, when it comes to Los Angeles, I grew up in that place. Okay. Los Angeles is crazy. Okay. That's why I'm so glad I left it. You know what I mean?
You know what just flashed in my head right now? You know what just flashed in my head? You remember in Harlem Nights and Quick was turned around and but anyway, Black Joe, cut it out.
No, Black Joe is making a point right here, sister, that I have to agree with.
All the way back all together.
So hold on, wait a minute. I just want to say something. So check dig. The reason why I be on the feminist movement like that is because when you have an attitude like the one that she is displaying, when she has young grandchildren that are females and young ladies that are daughters, and she gives them this same attitude, this continues to perpetuate. There's no change in the community when this is done.
Feminist? I am not a feminist, and I'm not a member.
Yeah. Okay, I'm not gonna even do that with you.
I am not. I'm not a member of them. I don't know why.
All of your ideology and speaking points are from a feminist or white feminist speaking point.
I had to stand up for myself. So
it's not standing up for yourself. You are super combative and contemptive to anything that holds women accountable.
Yeah, but what does
just like the last conversation me and you had, I gave those receipts.
Oh, you didn't give me all the receipts. I turned around.
Man, you got enough. You got enough receipts. You have enough receipts.
It was cleared up.
Enough receipts. Right. So once again, my word is my bond, and like I say, willful ignorance keeps you in a perpetual cycle like the one that you are in. Listen to you. Listen to you.
Let's go back to the subject, y'all.
Listen to you.
Yeah, let's get off on the point because I'm getting ready to pull the plug on this. Because this stuff is getting ridiculous.
Let's stay on point.
Sister, let's just stay on point.
No, wait a minute.
The thing is,
let me clear my name. Because nobody's going to sit over here and destroy my character.
So black men have killed 20 million children since the 70s.
All right, let me finish what I'm saying, Joe. So this is right here, right? I think that one of the reasons is that you want to attack me is because I love just as much as the mandingo that you love. Huh? Really? What are you trying to call me?
Let's go back to the subject, y'all.
Remember now, we got you a staunch feminist.
Okay, guess what?
I have not.
Remember now, we got lots of people listening in, so let's stay.
Yeah, we got lots of.
So she didn't call me a coon and a homosexual? Are you kidding me? I haven't called this woman one name.
Yep. Okay. That's why I said let's go back to the point.
Now, Sister Cat,
of the
please don't call the man out of his name. Okay, He's not calling you out of his name, but I tell you who needs all your comments of negativity from all of us is this individual by the name of Margaret Sanger, who came up with this crap anyway of Planned Parenthood. And her mission was to abort black babies, just like they did down there in Alabama with the Tuskegee experiment. See, they out to kill us. They want our melanin. They harvest our organs. You see what I mean? You know? And then on top of that,
I didn't know if you wanted me to respond. I apologize. All right.
No, go ahead and respond to it, Sister Crumb Bum on Margaret Sanger.
Well,
you got an open floor to Crumb Bum on Margaret Sanger.
First of all, I just want to say that I am not a feminist. I did not join a feminist party. And then on top of that, that's the ism schism. That is not part of me. The only thing is maybe, I feel the way that I do because of how I grew up as a woman, being light skinned and then having long hair or whatever. People try to put you in these different categories. So I had to turn around and defend myself. So you don't hear no feminism. You hear a black woman telling you how it is for me in order to survive. And then motherfuckers, sorry, that's a curse word. I don't mean to say that. But the thing is that, you know what I'm saying? The point altogether is all their survival tactics, they got it from us. So maybe they did turn around and look at an original black woman on how she survives and take care of her family that they don't want to turn around and show you on TV or whatever that she has done positive. They always want to show you something as far as the black man as well as the black woman. Like we don't have anything whatever to do for our families. We ain't talking about lost cause, Black Joe. Anyway, so the thing is that maybe that's, all together. You know what I mean? For me, myself, but say that somebody can't sit, you don't know nothing about me. And I'm not even concerned about the little stupid comments that come in as well. You still can't walk in my shoes. If you want to walk in my shoes, you better armor up. That's what I'm saying. Because I'm ready. And that's a whole nother story. If you want to walk in my shoes, walk in my shoes. You better get you some armor. And I yield.
I'm writing some comments here in his chat room. Is check them out. Okay. And just check them out and just comment.
I can't even read that stuff, Shabaka. I think I probably got the wrong glasses on, but I can't see.
Okay, fine, sister. I'm going to read the chat. Okay, I'm going to read the chats. Okay, Okay, this is parent worker needs to be jailed. Okay, Joe says a custodial parent. Okay, I told Joe he was right. Joe says no. Joe says continue to stay out of black women's business like they've been requesting since the 1980s. That there was that rap era. That was the disco era going into the rap
we already
era.
Heard that.
Okay.
Anyway,
Please let me finish. Okay. COINTELPRO was less stressful killing black women. They were brainwashing black women with the feminist movement. That he is right about. Okay. If it holds women accountable, they are combative.
Get out of here. Who the black man wants to sit out here that the black woman got brainwashed. Who brainwashed the black man? Let's go back into the history of the black man and how he turned around and
that's on plantation system. That's on the plantation system.
Oh,
the
get out of
plantation
here.
system.
I'm talking
Okay.
about even after
Joe says
plantation.
black women never suffered from a patriarchy. They don't
Oh
respect
my
black
God.
men example on display.
Oh,
Then this attitude raises the next generation of women
oh.
indoctrination. I put in here, please research Gloria Steinem, Margaret Sanger, and Planned Parenthood. Okay, Black Joe says 20 million black children aborted since the 1970s. 20 million. That is a nation. Okay. As Joe says that I agree with. No black men did this. Okay. Current Negro population, 50 million.
How do you know? How did he
Okay.
know who was on? Because as we go back and look at it, a lot of these organizations had melanated people that was on the board for a corporation. See, again, you're talking about corporation. Within corporation, there are laws. Within corporation, they have a certain protocol that they go through, and they have a board of directors. How does anybody know who's on the board of directors? That's the same thing when it comes to the Supreme Court. They do the same thing, have to do this and that, because it still goes back to the corporation. So all that stuff is hogwash all together, and the only thing that the corporation, the main corporation, is trying to do is create a division between the black man and black woman, because they want to make the black man a homosexual again.
Okay, now hold on a second. Whoa. Now hold on a second there, sister. You want to make the black man a homosexual. That's why when you look at a
Not
city
me.
like San
I said
Francisco,
the corporation. I didn't say me. I said the corporation. I said the corporation. Don't forget, there's various of corporations. There is various of corporations. I'm telling you.
Sister,
And they
a
have a plan.
corporation is a legal entity.
Look, they turn it around, and this is what they're doing. They turn it around and putting stuff in the school system to make your children want to put on a dress when they really are a male child, right? And they doing
Well,
this.
you're right.
But look.
Okay, no, you're right. The Irritated Genie did a whole lot of great work on that. Joe, I know you're familiar with the Irritated Genie. You still with us, Joe? I think you ran Joe off, Cat. Yeah, I think Joe dropped off.
Maybe I did.
I think he said he had a call. He can come back on.
Oh, whatever.
And then also keep the decorum.
I ran him off.
And then also saying excuse me is not going to stop us from getting shut down on all this cussing and stuff. I guess cussing ain't too bad. It's what you say. It's what you say in context of it sometimes. But yeah, we can't just just say the hell with the rules, break them, and then say, "Oh, excuse me." See, because they're not gonna accept "excuse me." What they're gonna accept is knock you off the broadcast and knock you down in the algorithms. And I'm like, I can't afford to have mine knocked down no more. I knocked mine down enough on my own by having a F the police day on 4th of July. So I knocked it down enough on my own. I ain't trying to have nobody else knock it down.
I just want to say this is that I don't know. Maybe sometimes because that's just the way that I speak, I didn't realize sometimes that I curse, and it just comes out naturally.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, sister, you're an educated woman. Okay, sister, you're an educated woman. Okay, you ain't got the curse.
I be like, you just don't know, Shabaka. I be ready, like, you got the head. I be like, I want to be it.
Say it. Okay. Dynamite could tell you, Joe will tell you, Jesse will tell you, I've cussed fools out on Blog Talk, you know what I'm saying, for over 5 years. It got us nowhere. Look what Blog Talk did. Oh, yeah, we got Sarge and Joe Gibson and them minds, right, and all that old type of stuff. I've been called every SOB, every NGR and stuff like that. But the thing is that when you start cussing and statement, you see what I mean?
And then Blog Talk
extremely more restrictive than Sarge. You know, I was one sometimes lightning Sarge to have and then look at all the foul crap they called me.
Get out of here.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't we supposed to be building something here? Because these crackers ain't playing.
And make a battle. We're gonna charge people money to come into the room, and we're gonna create a fight, and let's see who gets the heart attack with all the knowledge that we bring in. Let's take it to the ring and charge Circus a ticket to come in. What do you think, Lightning? Let's charge them jokers a ticket to come in.
Yeah, they should pay to have comments.
If you was to do some stuff like that, if you was to have something done like that, the authorities become up there shit.
No, because they have done it. What do you think that what's that brother name? What's that joker that has that podcast that he turned around, he was from New York and he moved to Georgia. Dang. And he has different people to come on there, and he has little podcasts or whatever. And then him and Dr. Valentine, and he have all them on there. I'm just saying though, why can't we turn around and the symbol of the strength of the black woman or whatever? Yeah, Hector Black man. All right. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you.
But I was there. I want to read it again, but I didn't want to lose my thought. Bring that back up again. Let me see what she was saying. That was a sister speaking. Was that a sister?
No, that was Jesse.
Okay.
Oh Lord. Anyway, so this is the thing. I was thinking that we could turn around and we could have an event, right? And we can charge, because remember, what's his name? I can't think of him. But he turned around, he was small, and then he had all these other people coming on there. You know what I mean? And the podcast or whatever. And then he turned around, he was charging like people $180 a ticket. And they didn't even have a live event. They was just on a podcast, and he charged that. One of the things that we're doing as brothers and sisters is that we're giving ourselves the Lord totem pole. Black Joe, oh, very knowledgeable. Black Joe can pull that information, knowledgeable. Boom. Jesse's very knowledgeable. Lightning is very knowledgeable, and y'all can pull that.
No, Joe left, sister. You ran Joe off. Joe left. Ran the man off.
So
you ran the man off. This is what I'm talking about.
Wow, he need to get some.
This is what I'm talking about.
How can I run a man off? Get out of
here. Okay, well, anyway, sister, what's your closing comment? Because I'm getting ready to end this stream.
I'm not a transgender.
What's your closing comment? What?
I'm not a transgender.
I did not say that you were, sister. I said, what is your closing comment? Because I'm getting ready to end this stream.
Why you gonna end it? We are doing good.
Because this shit is stressing me out because it's a bunch of bullshit. That's why. And I ain't
trying to get down. Bullshit.
Have a nice night. Thank y'all for joining.
Mr. Chairman, and to the Credentials Committee, my name is Mrs. Fannie Lou Hamer, and I live at 626 East Lafayette Street, Roosevelt, Mississippi. Sunflower County, the home of Senator James O. Eastman and Senator Stennis. It was the 31st of August in 1962 that 18 of us traveled 26 miles to the county courthouse in Indianola to try to register to become first-class citizens. We was met in Indianola by policemen, highway patrolmen, and they only allowed 2 of us in to take the literacy test at the time. After we had taken this test and started back to Roosevelt, We was held up by the city police.